Well, hello there, YouTube land. It's been a little while since I posted a video. I've been doing a lot of thinking lately, what I'm going to do with this channel and stuff. And beginning of this year, we went through the kit guitar thing, and we did 3 kit guitars. So anyway, I'm kind of bored and need something to do. And as you can tell, the weather is getting to my shop out here. I haven't been out here for a while now. But anyway, I have these pine boards here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim these off a little bit here, square them up. And I'm going to glue them together, and I'm going to make a guitar out of them. What I'm going to do is do it in 2 halves, because it's going to be too wide to get through my thickness planer. So I'll do it in 2 halves and then glue the 2 halves together after I get these glued together, get these glued together, and then we'll glue them together this way. And this will be the what do you call it? The core of the body. And I'm probably going to use, I was going to make a telly, but I think I'm going to use one of my body designs for this. And that there'll be more on that later on as we progress here. But I just got to have something to do. I'm going nuts in the house. And what's going to be happening here in the next few months is I have given all my equipment to my son, who lives in Maryland, and he's supposed to come out here and get this stuff. So and I don't have a lot. You don't need a lot to make guitars, but what I elected to do, I don't have any hardwoods to make a guitar neck. So what I'm probably going to do, this time around, I'm just going to buy one off of Amazon. And I haven't decided on the style of neck I'm going to buy, but it's got to be 25 inch or 25.5 inch scale, somewhere in there. I have all the parts to build another guitar, so I don't have to order any parts. I have enough in my bins in the house to build a guitar. I thought about buying one that didn't have any guts in it and putting it together, and I thought, well, what fun is that? There's at least, I don't know, 100 videos out there showing guys doing that very thing. So I thought I'd show you how I would scratch build a guitar body out of just regular old pine boards. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, I'll eventually plane this all down. And what we're going to do is put a drop top on it. I may even do one, put a back on it. I'm not sure yet. But the core of the guitar will be this pine. And what I'm going to use for the top is some of that sculpted poplar that I have. And I'll go through that wood pile over there. All that wood over there, see it stacked up over there, that's all that sculpted poplar. And we'll go through that and see what I can find that's interesting to make a top out of. And then, so I got lots of sawing to do. I got some planing to do, some gluing to do, and all that stuff. I don't know how much of it I'll show on video, but if you're more than welcome to follow along on this journey of me building a guitar body from scratch. And I hope that it helps some of you out there if you're considering doing something like this. And just a real quick breakdown. Here's what I got as far as tools go. I have my Wian thickness planer here. That's probably what will be, well, it is what we'll be using to thickness plane those boards. I have a Wian jointer planer over here that I'll probably end up using. This is my drill press that I modified with a table on it. This is a lifesaver, this table is. I recommend anybody's got a drill press, make yourself a table and put on it. It's just held on with some bolts, butterflies on in the bottom with some washers, and it's sturdy. It makes a nice workbench table, especially when you're working with guitars. I have a little sander, tabletop sander here. I have an oscillating sander here. This can be changed out to drum sanding. You can do that. Then I have my homemade router table here. This thing works so well. I'm really glad I made this thing. I made this out of a table. You know those tables you have to have the bench to sit at? That's what this is made from. I put a front on here so that when you're operating this, you can shut that, and it cuts the sound down about half, which helps aid in the noise level. I built this back when we were living in an apartment, so I was trying to be real cautious about people living in and around me. And but anyway, that's my basic tools. There's all my router bits that I've collected over the years, and there's some more up there, right there, and more clamps. And can never have enough clamps. I got clamps everywhere. And but anyway, that's basically all I have. And I've built many guitars, and we've done all kinds of projects for the house with this equipment. And but anyway, oh yeah, and I have my table saw over here. Forgot about it. It's all covered up. That's why I didn't notice it. That's my old Sears Craftsman table saw. It works really well. And I'm just showing you this stuff so you realize you don't need a whole lot to do a lot. And if you're thinking about getting into making guitars, then there's no reason why you can't. I started out with nothing. I didn't even own a router when I first started. I had to borrow one. All I had was a jigsaw and an electric sander. That's all I had when I first started. And that was over 20 years ago. So anyway, that's going to be it for right now. I'm going to go ahead and start working on these boards. Like I said, I don't know if I'll video all of it, but I got to go in and get my stand for my camera here and my phone. And yeah, I'll show you some things. I'm going to trim this up on my. You know what? I'll probably just go ahead and use that joiner planer on this. I was going to use a table saw and just cut this off, but I think I'll just run it through the joiner planer. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. And I'm going to go ahead and get my stand for the iPhone here, and I'll bring you back in a little bit. All right, this is my Wian joiner planer that we'll be using. And basically, I'm just going to run these boards through here and square everything up. So here we go. Okay, what I'm trying to do is get this routed edge off of here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and use my table saw on that. It's just going to take too long to plane that all the way through. So I'll bring you back in just a moment. Alright, so here's what we did. I just set that up to help cut that round over off of the 2x4. And then once I get that done, then we'll run it back through the joiner planer, and that should help things out a little bit. we have it. All those roundovers were trimmed off, and now we'll go back over to the other side of the room here and put it through the joiner planer. Whew, getting hot out here already. All right, there they are, all squared up. They're long enough that I can cut off any imperfections like that crack. That'll all disappear. But anyway, there's that part of it. And now we're just gonna start gluing and clamping it together. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue up 2 halves, let that dry, and then I'll come back out and glue the 2 halves together after I run this through the thickness planer. And I just did the real quick planing on the joiner planer just to help true things up a little bit so it goes easier through the thickness planer. And as you can see, I still have a valley right here. And then this is going to go on the inside. And then that'll all glue together like that. And then those 2 halves will come together. And then after it's been thickness planed, these 2 halves will come together. And then I'll put a drop top on it. And once that's glued on, then I'll trace out my shape of the guitar body I want. And we'll use the little bandsaw I have over here. I think I forgot to show that to you. I got a little bandsaw over here, a little 9-inch, and we'll cut the shape out. And then hopefully by that time I can order a neck for it. Like I said, I'm not going to make a neck this time. I'm just going to buy one because I don't have all the stuff to make a neck anymore. I don't have the frets and all that stuff, fretboard. It's just cheaper to buy one. If I need to, I can reshape it. So that I can do. So anyway, here's the gluing process that I go with. Been a lot of talk online of late what glues to use and what glues not to use. I've always used this Titebond regular original wood glue. It's never let me down. I've built I don't know how many guitars out of it from this product. I think it's a great glue to use. I just put that on there like that. And on this one I'm going to go ahead and glue both sides of what are surfaces here. I'm going to do one set at a time here so I don't get ahead of myself. Yeah, I use my fingers. You can use putty knife, squeegee, piece of cardboard, whatever you want to do to help spread this stuff. Paintbrush, a lot of people use paintbrushes. I don't know, like I said, I've been doing this way for a long time. I I enjoy doing it. It reminds me of finger painting when I was in kindergarten. That was a long time ago. This will be my last ditch effort to show you all how I do things.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. My wife's getting a phone call over there. I'm just about ready to call it quits on YouTube. I appreciate everybody who has followed me and subscribed and stuff. And I know I've helped a couple of you out there from my videos, and I appreciate all the cool responses on some of my videos I get. And again, if they're really bad responses, I usually end up deleting them. I won't let them stay on there. I don't promote people who just want to be nasty. So anyway, alright, so we're going to drop those two halves together. Kind of like this. And we're just going to take and clamp the heck out of them. Figure out how to get my clamps off the table. I usually like to try to start clamping in the center of things. Hope this is coming out on video. Yeah. I just like to start in the center. As you squeeze, you can see the squeeze out coming out. Now another thing I like to always emphasize is you don't have to over clamp anything. And if your work is done correctly, I use that term loosely, you shouldn't have to clamp down on it and too hard. And I'm just going to use, it looks like 3 clamps on this. I think it's going to be more than enough to hold this all together. Got a little spider friend running around here. It's been a while since I've been out in the shop. I've been having a lot of health issues and not feeling good, and it's been hot and humid out here in Alabama. And, not a fun experience. I've been having the Alzheimer's has been kicking in heavy duty of late, and it's frustrating me to no end. I don't know if this is probably my last scratch built guitar body I do. If I do anything in the future, it'll be either a kit guitar or another guitar I buy that's missing parts or something like that. So anyway, there's the one. So now we'll do the second one. Make sure everything's staying in kilter here. Yeah. And again, just squirt some glue on there. There are some things I elected to quit doing on YouTube. I'm not going to show you all how to do fret leveling and all that. There's probably a good 1,000 videos out there to show you how to do fret leveling, and probably more than half of them show you the correct way. And guitar making to me has always been a hobby, although it almost turned into a full-fledged business when I lived in Arizona. I was making guitars all the time in Arizona. I made, I think it was 6 guitars, custom guitars I made for customers and stuff. And what that did, that helped pay for my hobby, basically. I didn't live off of it, that's for sure. And was working on a lot of guitars. I can't even count how many guitars I saved over the years I lived in Arizona. And it was trying to turn into a business, but I was fighting it because I don't want it to become a job. Never wanted it to be a job, because once it becomes a job, then it's work, and I feel like I'm back on the time clock, you know what I mean? So anyway, I quit doing videos on a lot of different things just because there's so many guys out there right now. They're starting YouTube channels. Some of them, I don't understand this either, why some of them seem to flourish really quick, and others like me, I've been doing this for years now, and I struggle trying to get the subscribers I've got, and which is not a bad thing. I kind of like being a small channel. You know, the greater you are, the more responsibility you have. And I'm not going to sit here and make hundreds of videos just to be making videos. Even though I fell into that trap for a while. But anyway, this is clamping up really well. I love working with pine. It's an easy wood to work with, and I rarely ever have any problems out of it. I've made quite a few tellies out of pine, and I've done set necks, bolt-on necks, and neck throughs out of pine in the telly formation, and they all sounded awesome. They sustained forever. So I have no problems using pine, and I've gotten ridiculed a lot for using pine, but you know what? I have no problems in using it. Yeah, you should be using white pine, you know, but these yellow construction pine boards work just as well. I used them both, and I don't see any tonal difference at all. Anyway, so there we go. We got the 2 halves glued together. Got both halves glued together. Clean up my mess here. And yeah, that's a work table my wife and I made a few years ago. Almost 3.5 years ago, I guess. It's come in so handy. So there we have it. I gotta wait for them to dry up, and then once they dry, I'll unclamp those and then run them through the Wien thickness planer and get them all trued up thickness wise. And then I'll go through my wood pile and figure out what I'm gonna use for drop top on it, and then glue the 2 halves together, glue the top on it, and then cut out a guitar design. So I don't know how quick that'll happen, but it will happen. And I hope you enjoy this series of videos on how to make a guitar body by Stealth Guitar. And again, this is how I do things, and right or wrong, I get the job done. And so anyway, like and subscribe if you want to. I'm not going to beg you to, just do it if you want to. Right now, for whatever reason, YouTube's not showing my videos. I don't know the reason and all that, but I refuse to pay them. They were wanting me to promote my channel, but it's like right under $15 a day, up to so many months, and I added it all up. That's going to be like $6,000 to $8,000 to promote my channel through YouTube. Then after that, they help you monetize and all that stuff, and you make your money back. But then you got to guarantee to make so many videos per week and all that stuff, and I'm not going to get locked into all that. I have too much fun making the videos the way I make them. And I'm sorry that some of you out there don't like them. That's your problem, not mine. Alrighty, I'm tired. I'm done griping. Alrighty, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye now.